Rock Lee ruined Naruto, and here's why. If I were to ask the average Naruto fan about their favorite characters from the series, chances are Rock Lee is going to be pretty high on their list. I don't blame them, he's pretty high on my list too, and there's a very good reason for this. Rock Lee, out of all the characters in the series, including the title character himself, shows the audience the true value of hard work and dedication. His determination to prove that hard work can beat talent, and to show everyone that one can be a fantastic ninja without being able to use ninjutsu or genjutsu, is inspiring to even the most cynical of viewers. He completely destroys Sasuke in a 1v1, all while maintaining a completely respectful demeanor throughout the match. He jumps into a perilous situation to protect Sakura and the rest of Team 7 from the Sound Ninjas. He fights a Jinchuriki on equal footing, and not only does he manage to hit Gaara, something that nobody else has ever been able to do before, but he also manages to nearly win. Some critics would even go as far as to say that Rock Lee would have made a far better main character than Naruto, because, according to them, he embodies the hard work beats talent theme so much better than Naruto. But this is troubling, for these people have clearly not understood Naruto as a story, or the entire point of Rock Lee. Rock Lee believes himself to be a dunce, a klutz. How can someone who cannot use ninjutsu or genjutsu ever be a shinobi? Even under the guidance of Might Guy, a man who once tread a similar path, Lee, as well as his teammates, believes that he will never be able to overcome those born with natural gifts. And he makes it his life goal to prove them wrong, and most of all, to prove himself wrong. That hard work can beat talent, that one can be a great ninja without being able to use ninjutsu or genjutsu. But what a character strives for in the narrative is not necessarily the same as what the author means to portray with that character. We have to remember that while Rock Lee's goal may have been to show that hard work can beat talent, Kishimoto's goal with Rock Lee was never that. Because, let's face it, Rock Lee has never won. He has not won a single decisive victory throughout the entire narrative. His bout with Sasuke ends when Guy interrupts his front lotus. He is beaten to a pulp by the Sound Ninja, who have vastly superior equipment and abilities. He is maimed, seemingly irreversibly, by Gaara, the Jinchuriki of the One Tail. Even after full recovery, he cannot hold a candle to a Kimimaro on the brink of death. Rock Lee loses and keeps on losing. Just as he feels helpless against Neji, a prodigy even among the Hyuga, he feels vexed as Sasuke, someone who he once derided, surpasses him. To him, it looks as though his hard work means nothing against those who are so much more gifted, so much more privileged than him. And to be fair, he is right to some extent. Hard work did not beat talent, not even once. For despite the fact that Rock Lee is immeasurably talented himself, what holds him back is his mentality. While Rock Lee believes himself to be untalented, he is anything but that. During the Chunin exams, Kakashi gawks at Lee's ability to open any of the 8 gates, let alone 5, and calls him a genius for it. Guy knows that Lee is a genius, and therefore teaches him the reverse lotus. Yet why can such a genius not win? Is it truly because he cannot use ninjutsu or genjutsu? Neji says it best. After Lee's near-fatal battle with Gaara, the Hyuga remarks thus: "The heavens will not allow a pawn that can only seek victory at the cost of himself to advance." Throughout the story, what is clear is that Lee does not believe in himself. He instinctively realizes that even though he has worked hard, harder than anyone, he can never truly win. His techniques, in particular those made available to him by the opening of the 8 gates, are a perfect visualization of this. The front and reverse lotuses are both double-edged swords that, if misfired, leaves the user at the mercy of his enemy, perfectly aligned with Lee's mentality. He can only advance at the cost of himself, at least when the reward is his pride and glory. Yet there is a difference between when Lee fights for his pride and glory, and when Lee fights to protect others. When Lee fights Sasuke, It is to test what people call talent, to test himself, and to win the heart of Sakura. When Lee fights Gaara, it is to win, not for anybody but himself, and to attain for himself the glory that his peers, his rivals, have achieved. To prove to everyone that he is a great ninja. These two instances leave all those involved with a sense of chagrin or grief, much like Naruto's bittersweet victory against Kakuzu much later in the series, when he refused the help of his peers. There is no reward for Lee, only a sense of melancholy. However, Lee's battle against Team Dose was not for himself. It was for Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto, a team who he need not have saved, but did so anyway due to his respect and love for them. Lee holds back Kimimaro, not so that he can test himself against a bloodline limit user, as he once did with Sasuke, but so that Naruto may save his teammate, his friend. And in both instances, he is rewarded for it, not necessarily by a crushing victory, but by the growth of those inspired by him. Lee inspires in Sakura the same quiet courage that Guy once inspired in him, and it is Lee who gives Naruto the confidence to give hope to those who are just as unsure as he is. Against the threat of Kimimaro, Lee even earns the helping hand of Gaara, the one who once ruined his life. Lee's true purpose in the narrative of Naruto was not about how hard work beats talent. One could argue that it was about how everyone is talented in their own way, but I would argue that it was about putting your life on the line when you are protecting those who you love. This trend is also visible through the entirety of Lee's relationship with his master, Might Guy. Many of Lee's rules, imposed on him by Guy, have to do with protecting those he loves, those he cares about. Guy himself is never seen opening any of the gates to win a battle for himself. Rather, each time he does it, it is to protect his teammates, his village, his people. In particular, Guy's last battle with Uchiha Madara is most emblematic of this. Guy opens all 8 of his gates, and while his opponent mockingly likens his appearance to that of a fallen leaf, he cares not in the slightest. He is a leaf of the old generation, that with the last embers of his life will protect the young green leaves of the new generation. That is the message of Rock Lee's character, regardless of whether or not he consciously understands it himself, that you can only be truly strong when protecting those close to you. So, let's refer back to the beginning of the video, when I said Rock Lee ruined Naruto. Yeah, I lied, but in a way, I didn't. The problem was that Kishimoto wrote such a compelling character in Rock Lee, such that this green bowl-cut fashion disaster stole every single scene he was in. Rock Lee ended up being such a phenomenal character with a huge impact that many members of the audience misunderstood that Rock Lee's goal, that hard work would beat talent, was the theme of Naruto the series as a whole. This was, and remains, a very good example of the Mandela effect. Not only is it a misunderstanding of the series, but of what Rock Lee stands for as a character thematically, in a similar way to how Naruto and Sasuke are 2 sides of the same coin. Naruto and Lee are 2 sides of the same coin as well. While Naruto teaches us that the love of others is what makes us strong, Lee teaches us that our love for others is what gives them courage and gives us strength. And that is the story of Rock Lee, a boy who was beaten down time and time again, and still stood up for the sake of love. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, be sure to like and subscribe, and even watch my latest video on Sakura. I'd appreciate that so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.